Right folks, good morning and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Firstly, before I start talking about the topic of this particular video, I'd like to thank everybody who's watched the last couple of videos I've put out, the NEC video and also the Remembrance Day video, but in particular the NEC video. I cannot honestly believe just how many views that had so quickly. So yeah, I won't join on about it, but thanks very much for everybody that's watched that video, and obviously by doing so they're supporting the channel, and many of you that did watch it also subscribe to the channel, so much appreciated, greatly appreciated. But yeah, things move on, and obviously once we've completed one video we're always looking for topics for other videos, and that brings us on to today. And it looks like we've got a bit of a traffic jam. That's just sod's law, isn't it? Right, bear with me. We've got a couple of wagons here fighting past each other on the narrowest country lane going. These roads aren't designed for wagons like that. Right, off we go again. Right, so I was saying once, that brings us on to the next topic of another video. And it's sometimes difficult trying to find out what to do, what things, produce a video that's going to be of interest to people. But then I just thought, we've had such bad weather over the last few days, heavy rain, temperatures have dropped significantly, and certainly my wife, when she went to work yesterday morning, Monday, she had to scrape a windscreen. Which I think is the first time she's had to do that for quite a while. So that brings me hopefully nicely on to winter clothing, what we prefer, and also potentially heated clothing. Now, as a biker, motorcyclist, whatever you want to call yourself, there's a lot of things that we purchase for ourselves, for our bikes. Some we buy them because we just fancy them, and some we buy because we think that they're an essential item. And I'm just trying to get my bearings here. Hawksworth, here we go. Yeah, sometimes we buy things because they are an essential item. And a couple of years ago I bought some heated clothing to use during the colder winter months. Haven't used it that much, but I do use it periodically. I'm lucky in the sense that the normal riding gear that I use, which is the Rucker Navala suit, is pretty well insulated anyway. Keeps the elements from you, the cold winds, wet weather and so forth. But there's times obviously when even that isn't sufficient. Am I going to get past this safely? Yes, I think so. Good, I'm meeting them all today. Yeah, so I bought this heated clothing, Gerbing stuff. I know there's other manufacturers like Kais, and I have done a brief video before about my Gerbing clothing, or certainly I've touched on it during that particular video, but I thought I'd just want to give a bit more details on what I'm using at the moment. So let's get through here. Yeah, so I was just saying there, so temperature dropped significantly in the last sort of 48 hours. Wife went out to work Monday morning, had to scrape a windscreen, something that she hasn't had to do for a while, and that's obviously indicative of the cold weather spell that we're having at the moment. And that coupled obviously with the damp weather, it's beneficial to insulate yourself as best as you can, because we all know, don't we, that when you get cold you get fatigued, and if you get fatigued, the chances of you having an accident or making a bad error of judgment which might lead to an accident rises significantly. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get parked up somewhere when I get through all this shenanigans, and we'll have a chat and I'll show you what I'm using, show you the remote controller that I'm using to control the temperature of my clothing. Some of you might already have the same device. I've previously used a battery, like an external power bank battery made by Gerbing. I didn't find that particularly useful or beneficial, but again I'll touch on that in a minute. So bear with me folks, let's go get parked up and I'll come back to you in a moment. All this beautiful moorland. I do enjoy riding in this area. Right, take a right up here. Looks like it could pee it down as well shortly. It's some very dark clouds over there. Alright, let's get parked up down here where I was the other day. This will do nicely. I'll just turn the bike round, I think. Or I might even go down here. Can't believe I stalled it there. Right, this'll do. Right, so firstly I'll just show you this. So I've simply got it just connected up to the battery, direct connection just to the bolts on the battery, no separate sort of like power commander or anything like that. Plugged in there. And then that goes to this cable then goes to the controller, which I'll show you in a minute. Gloves wise, these are the Gerbing, I think they're called the XR ones, they're the shorter ones, and they have a cable concealed within in a little zipped pouch, and you can just undo that and then connect them up. And if I just take that off, you'll be able to see that cable there. You can get some extension leads that fasten between them if you need a bit of extra length, if you like, between the cables, if you find it a bit faffy putting your gloves on. But once you get used to the technique, they're not too bad and you can fasten them in quite well. So that's that. I'll just get this all disconnected and I'll just show you the jacket I've got, how it all works, and like I said, I'll show you the controller. Right then, so this is the Gerbing jacket that I use. Heated jacket, obviously. I got it from a sports bike shop, as I said, maybe a couple of years or so ago. 199 quid, call it 200 quid. We're not splitting hairs on that. So when I bought it, there were two different variations of it in regards to the leads that you get in the pockets. Now this one's got 3 leads coming from it. One that says accessory, one that is for your gloves, and one that's for the jacket itself. I think the basic one, it just comes with literally one cable that just goes straight to your jacket. So if you do decide to buy one, make sure you get one that comes with the additional leads. So like I said, with this, obviously you've got the additional connector there, so you can connect it to your gloves, and then you've got one that says accessory, and that's for either your heated socks or your heated leggings. I don't have any heated leggings. I tend to be warm enough with the Rucker quilted lining that goes underneath these. I haven't got those on at the moment because it's not that cold today. It's not like 0 degrees, but yeah, with the Rucker clothing on, I'm normally sufficiently warm with those. But yeah, so these two connectors, as I said, one for the jacket and one for the glove, and they both obviously just disconnect like that, so you don't have to have them all plugged in if you don't want to. So the controller I use, I'm not quite sure what model this is, but I've had a look on Sports Bike Shop's website before it came out, and they're usually about the 49 quid mark, but they're currently on offer £39. And the benefit of these is that they're a push button control. They've got 5 different settings on them, 1 being the coolest, 5 being the hottest. And I found personally that even in extreme cold temperatures, when it might be down to like 0 or 1 degrees, that type of temperature range, if you have this on anything hotter than 3, you will be cooking. It gets so hot, even at that setting, that they do recommend that you put some sort of base layer. Never wear this jacket directly onto your skin, because I think on any power settings, it will end up causing blisters, potential heat blisters on your skin. So Gerbing recommend that you wear some sort of base layer underneath this jacket, be that a dedicated base layer, or in my case, I've just got a t-shirt on today, something like that, and that will prevent you getting any heat burns or blisters. So I'll just tuck those away. So yeah, I'll just show you that. You've got additional pockets. Let me just stuff that in there. So you've got 2 pockets on the left side of your jacket. This pocket here, where the zip goes down to close it, that's where you can put your cables and so forth. Everything goes away nicely in there. And then you've got 2 normal waist pockets, and the zips on those just zip up like a conventional pocket with the zips closing upwards. So with regards to the gloves then, the cabling and connectors for those, so you've got all the lining. Gerbing states on their website that there's at least 30 meters of heating elements in the jacket, and that covers the sleeves and I believe the neck as well. And all that wiring, the wiring loom in the jacket, it's guaranteed for life basically of the jacket, subject to obviously normal sort of looking after it terms and conditions, I suppose, as long as you don't abuse it. But yeah, so these cables, when you're not using them, or if you don't want them, you literally just tuck them away in there like so, and zip it up, and then they won't get damaged or snagged on anything. What I found is they're not particularly long, but they are sufficiently long with a bit of fiddling just to get your gloves on. And then there are some extension cables that Gerbing do, which are maybe about 5 inches long, and they will just couple up to those and then up to the actual connectors on your jacket if you need that. But the jacket on itself, it's quite warm. Even if it's a cold day and you don't want the heated jacket actually plugged in and working, you just wear this jacket and it will definitely keep you warm. So that's that, and I'll just show you how easy it is. There's a knack to this. There is definitely a knack to this. So what I find is when you're going to put your jacket on, hold on, take your cables in your hand and just hold on to those, and then feed it through. So you've still got them in your hand there, don't let go of that. And then likewise the same on this side. Okay, so you've got the cable dangling like so, if you can see that, just coming out the cuff of the jacket. So you've got enough cable there just to plug that in, and then you can either leave it dangling or stick your hand in if you're ready to go. And although the cable's there, it doesn't impact on your comfort. You can't really feel it because of the thickness of the glove and the cuff of your jacket. So how do the gloves work then? Well, quite simple really. You've got a remote control little pad here, and if you just press and hold that initially, I think it's for about 3 seconds give or take, it'll power on. and it'll go blue, which is the coolest setting. Call it number 1. Press and hold it again just for a second or two, and it'll change from blue to amber. That's the middle setting. And then press and hold it again for a second or two, and it changes from amber to red, which is obviously the hottest setting. And the benefit of the gloves are that it heats up the entire length of the fingers, so it keeps all your digits nice and warm, and your thumb, and also the back of the hand. So you can either use these independently, or if you've got heated grips on your bike as well, it just gives you that extra comfort to the gloves, because you've got the entire hands that are kept nice and warm. And if your hands are nice and warm, you're going to have good throttle control, good brake control, clutch control, and your fingers aren't going to stiffen up if you suddenly need to do an emergency stop or anything like that. So that's it basically, simple as. Right, I'll get kitted up, we'll get back on the bike, and we'll just finish the video off. Right, I'll just see if you can see this. So if I press and hold that controller, you can see now hopefully that it's just turned blue. Press it again, it's turned amber. Press it again and it's gone red, so that's on the highest setting. And same with the left glove. So I don't know whether the camera will pick that up, hopefully it will, but they should both be glowing red, and as I said, they're on the highest setting, so my hands are probably going to start cooking. And then we've got that connected up there. I can feel the heat already. You will find with these jackets that literally within seconds, and that's not an exaggeration, within literally a matter of 2 or 3 seconds, you can start to feel the heat surging through your body. So it gives you instant sort of benefits if you're feeling cold. And I think certainly with a jacket like this, and if you want to go for the trousers as well, or the socks, it just gives you the ability, if you want to carry on riding longer in the UK when perhaps you might consider stopping because of the cold weather. I'm not a big fan personally of riding when the roads are all salty and they've been putting grit down, but any other time I don't mind going out in the cold as long as you're suitably dressed. There's no issues at all, is there? Right, so I'm just in on a different topic here. Mode 2. Let's see, can I switch this while I'm riding? I think you can. Press and hold it. Maybe you can't. Let me just stop here and do it. It might just be that my big fingers with gloves on didn't get it right. There you go. Yeah, so you can do it on the fly when you're moving, change modes. I always wondered whether you could. I just wasn't pressing it hard enough, or maybe not long enough. It's getting a bit dark now, and it's only about 3:30. Winter is upon us. Yeah, so I can definitely feel the heat in the main core of my body, and obviously that's even more so beneficial on a bike like this when you've got such a small screen, because you're not protected as much from the elements obviously. What I will point out, and again I don't know how this varies with Kais or any other brand of clothing, I'm just talking here specifically about Gerbing, because being honest with you, that's the only experience I've ever had of heated clothing. The jacket warms up, as I said, within seconds, and if you've got it on too hot a power setting, you can burn. It's that hot. The gloves, not so much. They're on the hottest setting, but they don't seem to be generating as much heat as the jacket. Now, whether that's intentional, I'm sure it is. I think it's there mostly just to sort of take that chill factor off your hands rather than to warm them up too much. It's not a criticism, it's just an observation. So like, if you get gloves and you get the jacket, don't be concerned if you think, well, the gloves don't get as hot as the jacket. I don't think they're intended to do so, to be fair. Right, where's this fan going? He's going there. So that's it really, folks. You know, I appreciate heated clothing's not for everybody, and some people think it absolute total waste of money, and I think I did for many years. Never bothered with it. I must have been riding 30 odd years, never even considered heating clothing, and then just thought I'd treat myself to the jacket one year and never looked back. It saves you layering up. You know, you might normally put 2 or 3 layers on, maybe like a base layer, t-shirts, like some sort of like thermal quilted top on, and then your jacket. Currently all I've got on is a t-shirt and then the Gerbing jacket and then my rucker jacket, and I'm more than adequate, even though I've been riding at motorway speeds. Keeps you nice and warm. Getting busy now. Right, I'm going to get home. Should be about 20 minutes to get home from here. So I hope that's been of interest to some people. Maybe it has, maybe it hasn't. If it has, please leave a comment down below. And if you like the style of videos that I do, please do consider subscribing. I'm currently only 30 something people away, or 30 something subscriptions away from 1,000. When I get to 1,000, I can monetize the channel and maybe try and get a few quid back from advertising on it, which will help me to produce more videos. So if you'd considered subscribing, that would be appreciated. And as I said at the beginning of this video, thanks everybody for watching in abundance previous 2 videos, in particular the NEC one. Right folks, catch you later, and I'll now try and rack my brains and see what video I can put out after this. Take care, ta-da for now.